At the foot of the majestic Rocky Mountains in Colorado Springs, the U.S. Air Force Academy is Colorado's most frequently visited man-made attraction. Visitors come daily to watch cadets march during the noon hour. And of course, there's the famous chapel. Constructed of aluminum, it resembles a formation of fighter jets shooting up into the sky. And inside, stained glass windows surround aviation symbols that welcome those who enter to worship Jesus Christ. An education at the Air Force Academy includes academics, military, athletics, and spiritual development. A student receives a well-rounded education and the opportunity for a promising career as a pilot. Yet, enduring the rigors and disciplines of military training plus college studies makes this a stressful environment for any cadet.
Your first year, you just kind of feel, you just get really taken out of your comfort zone. It's not like anything you've experienced before. And it was a pretty tough year. And then the second year, like the place, like I don't know, I kind of felt like I was treated like a real person, but then so much schoolwork and so many other things are just crazy. And then
you have a lot of knowledge you have to know and just be able to spout out when people ask you for that. And physically it's really hard. You go on a lot of rifle runs and just you're expected to be in really good shape and things like that. So I don't know if there's so much specific things, but it's just overall it's just a tough experience.
My first year, your world was turned upside down and I did not have any friends. I did not know who to trust in.
The Academy has several chaplains who oversee and help guide cadet spiritual development. Major John Dieter considers himself a chaplain first because he was called into the ministry before he was commissioned as an officer.
I serve much as like a civilian pastor serves in church. I do Sunday worship services. I lead Bible studies. I do a lot of counseling, a lot of visitation, and try to be a campus chaplain for all the cadets. We got approximately 4,400 students in our student body here, and like any other college campus, there's a variety of needs that arise, and I try to make myself available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to meet those spiritual and emotional needs that arise in the cadets' lives.
Well, we're very pleased with what Campus Crusade does here, along with a lot of other organizations. We have one night of the week especially, which is set aside by the Academy for the cadets to be involved in religious education, Bible study, those kinds of things. So what they really do for us is extend ministry to people that we would never be able to reach because of there being so many cadets if we were to only rely upon what our chaplains can do.
Even though Campus Director Scott Blum doesn't have a military background, he knew that God had called him to invest in the lives of military men and women.
Campus Crusade has always been very intentional, I feel, about going after the leaders or the future leaders, and that's why Dr. Bright initially picked the college campus, was because it's the future leaders. And as I look at the Air Force Academy, where else can I have an impact for 4,000 future leaders? And it's not just the Air Force Academy. My vision is to reach the world through the Air Force.
Every week, Scott meets with many cadets individually. He shares Christ and disciples them to walk in the power of the Holy Spirit. And he's also a trusted friend who is always just a phone call away.
It's interesting, in the cadet area, every evening when I walk through, there's about, it seems like there's a couple hundred kids talking on cell phones. And that's probably not totally unique, except for the fact that I think there's a real sense of loneliness and being isolated by being a cadet, especially the younger classmen, the freshmen and sophomores, who can't leave that often, even on the weekends.
Every Monday evening, the Academy encourages participation in a spiritual program called Spire. Parachurch organizations like Campus Crusade are invited to come in and to lead Bible studies for the cadets. Campus Crusade's meeting is known as CRU, short for Crusade.
We have some good praise time. Someone will come up and give a talk. A lot of times someone will give a testimony. We'll do skits, we'll do activities, we'll do just like kind of little fun stuff. And the big thing we really focus on, especially with like the incoming freshmen, is just really building community with people. Because you feel when you first get here like you're cut off from the rest of the world and that you really don't have any friends, you don't really fit in any place.
Military readiness begins with the individual. And that's why the individual is the focus of Campus Crusade's military ministry. Through evangelism and discipleship, each year cadets are recognizing God's call upon their lives. A call which will make an impact around the world for the present and for eternity.
Our purpose for Campus Crusade for Christ at the Air Force Academy is to make Jesus Christ the issue at the Air Force Academy and around the world. And I think that we're seeing God do that. We're seeing kids come to Christ, being built up in their faith, and being sent out to reach the world. They're government-paid missionaries when they leave here.
I'm not sure I would still be here, actually, if Crusade wasn't here. It's just it's the fellowship and the attitude and the joy that you get from, you know, your relationship with Christ, and then being able to share that with everybody else who's involved in the movement, and having that vision, that goal. And honestly, I believe that's why I'm here, is like for ministry, and I believe that's why I'm going into the Air Force, and that's why I'm not so worried about exactly what my career field's going to be.
And I think the biggest thing is I'd just be searching for something. I'd be trying to fill up my time with this activity or that activity, or like a lot of cadets do, just let's try to spend money here, let's get involved in this, and a lot of things, just trying to like fill stuff up.
As part of the military, there have been a lot of issues that have come up that normally I would not see in a civilian arena, and a lot of those involve ethical, moral decisions, and I think having a walk with Christ makes a difference in helping me to grow, and later on to be able to lead people.
When Jesus looked at the multitude, he said they're harassed and helpless like a sheep without a shepherd. And what greater place to invest my life for eternity than to see people come to Jesus? Why would I want to do anything else?